Welcome. Now, we are going to be talking parenting right now, and we have been joined by Femi Shofoluwe, a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher with more than a decade hands-on experience. He has a burning desire to see the average youth become an exceptional young adult. Now, on parenting today, he will be discussing with us the signs of toxic parenting. Now, I had not heard about that topic until yesterday when I heard that I would be talking about this with you. By the way, welcome, Femi. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, indeed. I know you are a candid speaker at events and all of that, so I know you'll be very passionate and thorough with this conversation. But toxic parenting, who is a toxic parent?
Well, to start with, a toxic parent is a parent that have attitude and behaviors that poison their children. They are parents that in fact, there are several signals that you get to look out for when you talk about toxic parenting. Number one of which, I believe, is your children. How comfortable are they around you? If your children are not comfortable around you, believe me, that is a very, very strong signal that you probably may be a toxic parent. When your children close from school, for example, do they want to come home? Are they happy coming home? During holiday, do they want to stay with you, or they seek somewhere else to go? Do they have excuses trying to let you know what, we can't stay here, we just want to go and see grandma, blah, blah, blah.
I'm laughing because you're describing almost every African parent there.
I tell you the truth, almost every African parent are toxic parents, almost all of them.
So this is the cultural thing then?
It's a cultural thing, and you see, and the problem is this: when you tell somebody that they are displaying signals of a toxic parent, the truth is they will argue it out with you. That is not true. And that is where the problem is. When you have a problem and you don't know you have a problem, that in itself is the number one problem that needs to be dealt with. And we now talk about ignorance. So you need to seek knowledge first as a parent to know who you are, where you stand on this kind of topic, on this kind of issue. You need to find out, are you a toxic parent to start with, before we now talk about how do you rectify the damage that has been done. And the truth is this: most parents are toxic parents not because they choose to be. It is the way we are raised.
So it's a chain reaction. It's already been entrenched.
It's something that has been ongoing for decades, for centuries, in fact, forever.
So how do we break it then, especially as modern parents?
For us to break toxic parenting, number one, I believe, is that you need to seek knowledge, like I said. You need to know where you stand on this kind of issue. Who am I when it comes to parenting? Am I parenting right or am I parenting wrong? And when you are parenting right, you know. When you are parenting wrong too, you know. Like the example I started with, as a child, do you want to go home at every slightest opportunity you have, or you prefer to stay outside? There is no reason why a child should prefer staying out than coming home. There is no reason, basically. So when a child is displaying this kind of attribute, as a parent, you need to know that, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong that need to be dealt with. And the truth is this: you will discover that most children, they are more comfortable around strangers in Africa than they are around their parents.
Tell a lot to strangers instead of actually telling to their parents.
It shows that we have a fundamental problem as African parents that need to be dealt with. Toxic parents use their children to get what they want. I dealt with a particular case like 10 years or thereabout ago of a woman who run a beer parlor. You know, I think we call it beer parlor in Nigeria, okay? Who run a beer parlor and asked this young girl, who was just like 14, 15, helping her out in the beer parlor. And anytime some people try to touch this girl, you know, immorally, and she tried to revolt, the mother get angry and feel like, they want to spoil my business, blah, 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 blah. And this girl spoke to me. She happened to be one of the people I speak with every week. And then she spoke to me about what is happening. I went to see the mom. And the mother was like, this is where I
she
feed
makes
her
her bread
from.
and butter.
This is where I pay her school fees from. And I had to paint the picture for the mother. In the next 4 years, do you want to have a grandchild that has no father? Do you want your daughter to be like you? Because I'm sure she's not even happy doing what she's doing. I'm sure of that. This is not to say that beer parlor business is a bad business. No. That is not what I'm saying. But a lot of us, there are things we are doing, and we know we are far more than this.
Okay. So now you spoke a lot there, and I wanted to note something about this toxic parenting. The fact is that most older generation parents see that as a sign of respect when your kids are actually scared of you, when I can say something and you have to do it. Now, if you remove that from our current contemporary culture now, how are parents expected to gain that respect from their children or wards? Or is it better to get, instead of respect, perhaps maybe trust?
Now, you see, I'm very happy you touched on that issue. Most parents in Africa, we want to have the respect that we do not work for. Like you said, respect is earned. It's not something you hijack from people. You don't go about begging people to respect. In fact, most parents, they tell their children, you have to respect me. For what? Because I'm your father.
Yes.
That is not enough reason. Do you tell everybody around the world, because you are older than them, they need to respect you? Do you tell Dangote to respect you just because you are older than him? Where is the result? Where are the proofs? Where are the things that fetch you that respect? As a parent, if you do your due diligence and love your children the way you should, they will respect you. And I'm going to cite an example which I didn't even actually plan for. When I was a child, I was a dullard, to be sincere. When I say dullard, I mean a very terrible one at that. I used to copy my name into exam hall so that at least if I fail everything, I don't want to miss my name. I don't want them to be looking for who score zero again. So, and my parents, they were very terrible. I mean, they are terrible parents in that way. They don't like it, and they were punishing me every now and then. Then there came an uncle in my family from US, Uncle Yinka, I will not forget. And this man showed me love. Okay? And he told me, Femi, you know what? He bought me a lot of things when he was coming. And he said, your next exam, if you pass, I promise you I'm going to get you more things. That sounds like bribe anyway. But then I could see love. That is, for a child, that is communication of love. At that point, I didn't want to fail again. Not because anything has changed, but because I don't want to disappoint the person who loved me so much.
Yes.
If parents love their children enough, they will gain their respect with ease, without having to beg for it.
My next question is, based on everything that you've told us and the points to look out for as perhaps maybe being a toxic parent or not, is it too late for people who have kids at certain stages, perhaps maybe 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old? Is it too late for them to switch their parenting style?
No.
What effects would it have on the kids?
It's never too late. You see, I would like to say that toxic parents, they are actually the first bully that their children get to experience. And to right the wrong is not a rocket science. All you need to do is make a U-turn.
Okay.
Everything you are doing wrong before, like for example, some father, they believe that this loving thing is meant for the mother.
Yeah.
So I'm just there to make money, I bring money home, all of you should be fine. And that is why most fathers are neglected towards the end part of their life. You will see children appreciating their mother, never appreciating the father. So father need to take up the role of loving their children.
Now, Femi, I really would love to let you go on, but we've come to the end of it. But I'm sure that there's so much that you can, that you have to tell. Tell you what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to perhaps maybe have him back, and we're going to continue this topic. But if you have questions for Mr. Femi here, maybe you should write them down and use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We're going to make sure that it gets to him, and then there's a response, especially on social media. We are at TVC Connect. Do stay tuned. Let's go on a break. Thank you very much, Femi, for joining us. We appreciate it.
This morning.
And
I
we'll be
appreciate
right back.
it. God bless you.